All right, and it looks like we are live. Hello. Is this working? Looks like we have audio. All right. Okay, guys. Well, welcome back to the channel. I am Philip Page, and if you haven't already subscribed, please go ahead and do that. I'm not saying you gotta hit the notification bell if you don't want to be annoyed every single time a new post comes in, but go ahead and subscribe. That way you can um, um, be let know what's going on and kind of keep up to date with us. Hey, Vicky, what's going on? So here, I want to show you guys that I've got. Oh, you can kind of see it right there. The Angel phone. Ilya, what's up? What's going on? Okay, let me turn this back over this way for right now. Oh. Andrew, what is up? Billy, what's going on? Hey, Billy, by the way, I want to thank you for that suggestion from the last live group in regards to just taking that one little section where we did the actual Angel phone session and go through it. Thank you for that. I appreciate that. Gina, what is up? Man, this is the quickest. We've had people pop in. Guys, I want to introduce you to Andrew. Andrew is in here tonight. I used to. I know Andrew. He's a DJ here in town, and you might remember the solo session that I did in his home. And so that's who's with us tonight. What's going on, Andrew? How are you? Billy, not a problem, buddy. I appreciate it. So yeah, as I was kind of doing the opening right now for anybody else who may later on come back and watch this. So guys, I try to about once a month. I've been doing it more lately, but at least once a month, I try to do a live session so that people who are both subscribers of our YouTube channel, as well as who are on our Facebook page and in the Saving Ghost Facebook group, we can all get together as the cool little community that we are and discuss ideas. And last week, I posted a question. And it was just a random question. What it was did I think, or did people think, that God made people because she or he, which we'll get to that later on, was lonely? And that sparked a huge conversation. Huge conversation. And later that night, I went and walked my dog. And I'm a thinker. My mind is always going. I think I mentioned this before. That's one of the reasons why meditation is so important to me, because I've got to quiet my mind down. And went to go walk him, and I had all these thoughts come through my head, and I had a couple of epiphanies, which we're going to be talking about tonight, because I just want to share with you guys. I want your opinion. Before we get onto that, though, Andrew, buddy, what is going on with you, man? Hey, Danielle, how are you? And for those of you who might not, I think most of you are, but just in case, for those of you who might not be overly familiar with the group setting, there are times that I do pause. And I know visually, when you're watching this back, that can maybe somewhat be a little annoying. But what I am trying to do is I'm trying to keep up with responses, as well as if I ask a question, I want to give proper time, to try to get, that person to respond. Really? See, okay, so we did this session at Andrew's house, and and we got the distinct feeling that there is a woman. I mean, there's a couple there, but there's a matriarch type of system there, and this female spirit is kind of the bee's knees there, and we were even able to catch it on the angel viewer. We were able to get a stick figure sitting down. We actually caught a stick figure going up the stairs, but we weren't recording at the time, so it's kind of a moot point. So Andrew, what's going on now? Which, by the way, guys, I want to show you in fact, you know what? While Andrew is typing, I'm assuming he's responding right now, I want to show you, wait, door starting to slam again. In your bedroom or downstairs? Were these doors slamming? Really? Are they slamming at any particular time? Like, are you seeing a pattern? Two and three. Okay. Are you asleep when this is happening, or are you awake? Oh, Andrew, looks like you opened up a hornet's nest. You got everyone asking you questions now. Guys, feel free to ask him questions. Well, Andrew, here's how I'm kind of looking at it, and I think I'd mentioned something fairly similar when we did the investigation. Yeah, it's making noises. And yeah, you've even mentioned before that you felt like there was a presence there. It's not. Let me ask you this. Do you feel threatened? Do you feel threatened at all? And if you're saying that it's okay, when you say it's a stronger presence, what has changed in your life? What is going on now? I remember those. So here's what I'm concerned about. You're saying that it's ramping up and that you are feeling uncomfortable. Now, okay. Just one more. Okay, so you're out of the house a lot more. The last couple of live sessions, I've been talking about, vibrations and energies and things like that. Here's my concern, that if you are saying that it's feeling uncomfortable, that means that you feel uncomfortable. and feeling uncomfortable. I mean, it's been measured that emotion, it vibrates to a certain frequency. I mentioned last time that humans on an average vibrate hertz, which this is part of my epiphany that I want to talk about later on as well. But if you are just bare bones, if you are feeling unnerved, then that's going to keep feeding a cycle. And if this thing is trying to attach, if this thing is trying to oppress in any way, then that uncomfortable feeling that you have is going to feed it, make it stronger, which is going to make it feel like it's ramping up more, which is going to make you feel more uncomfortable, which is going to feed it more, which is going to make you feel more uncomfortable. Do you see where I'm going with this? Honestly, dude, and I've said this before, and I'll say this to anybody, if you feel like you have an attachment that's unwanted, then go into a room or go into the middle of your house somewhere by yourself and say, this is my life. You have no control over me. I command you gone. And say that 3 times. You have to take back your own power. You have to take back your individuality. And if something happens, I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, there's times I still get that initial jolt just because you don't expect something to happen. So you're going to get that initial jolt. But once that happens, bring it back. You know, if there's any fear, you know, nothing can hurt you that you don't allow. And I know there's some people who are going to disagree with me on that, and I'll be more than happy to have that conversation. But nothing is going to hurt you that you don't allow. How do you allow it? You allow it by showing fear. Okay. What's up, Matt? So I've seen you in action before. I kind of know how you are. And this is getting to a point now, man, where it's like you got to pull yourself up by the bootstraps, and you know it's enough is enough. You've got to lay down boundaries, and when you're laying down those boundaries, you have to believe it. You have to have, and I know that we always hear people say that you have to believe it, but I mean it. You have to believe it. Here's why: because belief is tied to emotion, which I just said emotion ties to a frequency. So you have to believe it, okay? Andrew, do you have a new roommate besides your brother? Danielle, don't worry about it. You're good. Maddie Matt. This is seriously the quickest everybody has logged on. You guys are friggin' awesome. Tell you what, Andrew, would you want Gina, Curtis, and me to show up? Dude, Ryan? Ryan from Fear. Okay. Well, I'm going to say that's probably part of the reason, because you're switching up energy dynamics in the home. And Faith, I agree. I'm thinking they don't like the change. And you know, that is a conversation you can have with them. You know, because here's the thing, dude. If all of you were living together, you know, fairly peacefully, let's say you're all roommates, and all of a sudden one leaves and you got this new dude who's moved in, which frankly has a completely different energy. I mean, from like a core measurement, type of way has a completely different energy. And if you view them as roommates, let's say, and you didn't have that conversation with them first, they could be pissed, dude. You know? So that's a conversation that you can have with them. I see you, Matt. Yeah, Vicky, I'd agree. It sounds like it really upset whatever balance was there. So what I would do when you're there by yourself, and I know, God, I know it always sounds like, why do I always gotta do it by myself? Dude, that's so cliched. It's kind of freaky. Why, bro? But the thing is, it's there, whether you like it or not, there's a relationship there. And so what I would do is I'd have a conversation with them. You know the whole thing that we do: knock once for yes, knock twice for no, or tap once for yes, tap twice for no. I would ask, first I would say a prayer, I'd ask for protection, and then I would open up, that dialogue and say, are you upset that we now have a new roommate? Tap once for yes, twice for no. And see what happens. I mean, nothing could happen. You could get a whole smorgasbord of taps. Who knows? I mean, we did get that one tap on your bedroom door. In fact, we got that recorded. It's in the episode. So we know that they know that Morse code style. So I would open up a dialogue with them. Would you be willing to do that? And after you do that, if you think that you would want, the three of us to pop up, and do a proper investigation, then yeah, we could do that. Since I moved us off of Amazon, less and less people are they seem less willing to play with us. Hey, Maddie, have a great night, man. Yeah, Andrew, please do. And then I'll run it through my system and I'll see what I can drag out of it, okay? Because you might capture EVPs, dude, that you don't even know about. Maddie, sleep well. I mean, dude, there's so many times that I thought I've captured nothing. I mean, literally squat. And then I play it back, and all of a sudden, wow, there's like a whole conversation going on there. So do that. Send me the file, and then I'll review it for you. All right. So, guys, how is everybody else doing tonight? Ilya, you're always pretty mellow. No, Andrew, we're going to get you squared away, man. So, guys, I posted this in the group, and I think there's some of you who might not. Dude, Andrew, so am I. Because it seems like things kind of died down a little bit, but then, yeah, and I think it's really because of the energy change in the house. But I know there's some of you who aren't, at least I think some of you aren't a member of our group, which you are more than welcome to come over to Facebook, Saving Ghosts, join the group. Would love to have you there. I made a post on there saying that I wasn't quite sure how tonight's session is going to go. Now, I do have a complete rundown of what we're going to be going over, and it's going to be pretty meaty. And I'm going to try to be as delicate throughout this conversation as I can be. Hey, Sean. But I got a call from my my dad two days ago, and he let me know that I have a younger half sister, same dads, different moms, and they live in a very small town in Oregon. And all right, buddy, Andrew, have a good night. And so he got a hold of me 2 days ago, and he let me know that my sister is no longer with us. She was a member of the group. She was a member of the page and all of that. And so I was getting some stuff prepared. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make the services, just because of how soon everything happened, how quickly everything happened. But in the event that I can't make it just because of resources, I am putting together something. Hey, what's going on? And I know you're really not. Oh, wait, no. Yeah, no. Casey. Yeah, cool. Sweet. Happy to have you here. But I was putting some stuff up. I was putting a presentation together to send to them, letting them video presentation, letting them know that I wish I could be there, so forth and so on. And there's a song. Now, I really, for the most part, I don't listen to country, but there's a song that came out years ago. I want to say like right around 98, 99, called Go Rest High on That Mountain. It's from Vince Gill. And I was putting this song as part of this. And as I listened to this song over and over and over again, the realities of what had happened really started to sink in. And so that's why I say I'm not quite sure how tonight is going to go. I could either, become an emotional mess, or, I'll end up being okay. I honestly don't know. So I do apologize ahead of time, guys. It took everyone by surprise, but I don't want this night to focus on that. I just want to let you know that if at any point during this I become a babbling idiot, that's why. All right. So yeah. So a couple nights ago, and I'm not being rude. I'm looking up the agenda for this evening. Thank you, Vicky. Thank you, Ilya. I had this thought, and as I mentioned earlier, I tend to think a lot. That's why I'm always involved in 101 different projects. And I started thinking, did God, and I use the term God loosely because I know everybody has a different belief, but did God make us because, he, and I use he loosely, and I'll get to that in a second, was lonely? And it opened up a whole floodgate of conversations and really started to expose what a lot of people believed, which is fantastic. That's the whole reason we have the group. That's the whole reason that, the group and the page and this channel exists, is to explore these questions and to, try to figure this out as a collective group. And there were some people who came through and they said that, they didn't believe in God, and I know it can be argued that within itself is a belief. I'm not going to nitpick. I'm not going to argue semantics, because at that point it just gets ridiculous, in my opinion. But there is a wonderful, wonderful book by Deepak Chopra. And Violet, I didn't think you were going to make it. Violet's in the house. I'm getting too old, and my paint job is too bright for me to be sounding like that. And I'm going to find the book here. I thought I had it saved. There is a wonderful book by Deepak Chopra, who I absolutely love. This man. He has a book called How to Know God. Now, I do not own this book, but I have read this book. And it was eye-opening, because here's the thing. Psychology teaches us that the first man and the first woman that we ever know are our parents, our moms and our dads, assuming that we have both there. And what if your relationship with either your stepdad or your biological dad isn't any good, which was the case for me. With my stepdad anyways, my real dad is awesome. But what if your relationship with your male figurehead, whoever that may be, isn't good? And most religions teach that God is male. Well, you're not going to have a good relationship with God, therefore, because you're associating God as being male. And if your relationship with that male parental figure in your life isn't any good, or if you've been in a lot of bad relationships with a male, then you're not going to view God as being a good person, especially since most people who study Western Christianity, and especially the Old Testament, they're talking about a God that is angry, that is jealous, which is vengeful. Why? Why would you want to follow that, believe that, support that? And we could always go into the history of when the Bible started to change and all this other stuff, which I've gone into that before. Violet, you're right. Every single person is different. But the one thing that Deepak Chopra mentioned in his book was, if your relationship with the male figure in your life isn't good, then you don't have to view God as being male. See, here's the thing, and I've mentioned this before, that we as humans, we put our own limitations on God. In my opinion only, guys, do with this as you will. God is neither male nor female. God is neither loving or angry. I believe that God is pure consciousness, pure energy, purely neutral. And whatever you put into that image of God is then what God is going to be. So do I believe that God could have female understanding and traits? Yes. Do I feel that God could have male understanding and traits? Yes, because again, going back to our old conversation, it's energy. Now, some people call God the source, universe, lesion fields, whatever, however you want to identify with God. And this is when we get into God perception, which is what I was talking about when I made the post for this night. We're talking about God perception. What is your perception of God? Now, if you don't believe there is a God, and you follow this page and this channel, then that tells me that you believe that there is something. maybe not the Old Testament biblical, God, but it tells me that you believe in something. So that wasn't the epiphany, by the way, guys, that I had the other night. We're getting to that. But do you guys kind of see where I'm going with this, though? Is that we don't have to be locked in to any certain perception, to any certain viewpoint of what God is. Now, if you were, let's say you were raised Southern Baptist, and you were raised to believe that God was of a certain presence and a certain mannerism, a certain belief, and that's what you believe, there's nothing wrong with believing that. There's nothing wrong with it. Look, I don't care what you believe. If it keeps you happy, if it keeps you a good person, if it allows you to be ethically and morally aware of others around you, I'm good. Seriously, I'm good. Hey, Gina Miller, do you mind real quick if I use you as an example? Do you mind if I use you, well, not as an example, but do you mind if I tell a story about a conversation that you and I had? So a while ago, and first off, Gina, thank you. A while ago, wanted my dad being Native American. It was very nice, very, very nice. Native American dad, dude, Violet, you rock. So, all right. So Gina and I had a conversation. I want to say it's actually been a couple of months now. And she opened up to me and she said, Phil, there are so many gods. There are so many gods. How do I know which is the right one to believe in? And my answer to her was, no matter what name you give God, that energy source is still the same. I don't care if you call, God, Yahweh, Shiva, whatever, Muhammad. I don't care what name you give God. The energy source is still the same. So I don't even, in a lot of cases, I don't even bother associating a name with an entity known as God. I just say God. And I said, how about just the God of love? Choose that loving side of God. God is creation. And, we are part of that creation. And I believe that little spark of energy that makes us who we are comes from that greater source. So therefore, we are all creators. And so it's just something to think about, guys. And what I'm getting to is that no one's wrong in what they believe. Everyone, and I'm saying this loosely, guys, everyone is right. Now I'm going to tiptoe here. I'm going to tiptoe in a, and Gina, that's how I view God. I view God as, now I'm going to tiptoe into something very, very, very delicate here. I have met, and I even get a little, nervous, saying the name, but Violet, dork. But I have met, now I'm sure most of you, and I'm not going to dwell on this, but I'm sure most of you know that there are two types of Satanism. One is really just has to do with focusing on you, focusing on your energy, focusing, And I have met those specific types of people who are in that belief. Some of the nicest people I've ever met. Some of the nicest people I've ever met. So if you believe in a God of love, then I don't know. I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't see anything wrong with it. Now, as a kid, I struggled a lot with, okay, dude, so you're telling me this God is angry, is vengeful, all of these things, which you're also telling me that's the stuff that Satan is made of, but yet it's okay when God does it. It was just all confusing. I'm like, dude, you know what? I'm done. You have overcomplicated this. You have way overcomplicated this. I would tap dance on the eggshells, Billy, but there's still an egg inside, and that would feel gross between the toes. And for those of you who are watching this later on, I know you don't know what we're talking about in regards to that. But so that's just that portion of it, is that everybody has their own perception of God. And really, in my opinion, no perception is wrong, because truthfully, we don't know. We don't know. The only time I ever have an issue with it is when someone tries to force their view on you and they are trying to force you to accept it. Now we have a barrier issue, and this it has nothing to do with God. It has everything to do with the individual at that point. So, Violet, seriously, shoes? That takes the fun out of it. Yeah, we truly don't know. So, in Deepak's book, I'm talking like he comes over for tea all the time. Hey, Deepak. But in his book, he says, if you don't want to view God as a disciplinarian, God is so many things. God's a creator. God's a friend. God's a teacher. God's a therapist. God's an artist. You can associate with God on so many different levels. And here's the thing, guys. They would all be right. They would all be correct. So cool, Danielle. Thank you. Billy, you're right. You're right. That's why it's called faith. Elia, that's awesome. See, I grew up, my stepdad was extreme Pentecostal, and I wasn't allowed to date outside of the Pentecostal church or any of this stuff. And I thought that was always a bunch of hooey, even back then. And so I'll say it pissed him off the first time that I brought home not only a girl that was black, but a girl that was Jehovah's Witness. Man, his head would have exploded. God, but you're made up of everything, aren't you? So, if what you believe, listen to my English, if what you believe supports love, supports creation, then there's nothing wrong with it. Believe it. I don't care if you believe that the grass in your front yard is God. Technically, you would be right. I don't know why we nitpick this. Oh yeah, Gina, it was strict. It was very strict, very strict. So that's why here's the thing. I've said this about the archangels, and I'll say this about God as well. God is non-denominational. Easy as that. I'll tell you one of the coolest things I ever learned. And this was, I was studying Hinduism. And they have, of course, many gods, but two of the big ones are Krishna and Vishnu. Krishna is the god of creation. Vishnu is the god of destruction. Here's what you could associate with, the Christian God and Satan. But here's the thing about Krishna and Vishnu. They actually get along. They kind of like tag team, so to speak. So, you know, because the belief is that you can't create until something is destroyed, until you have a blank slate. And so Vishnu's job is to go out and destroy, which is viewed by many as a negative thing. But here's the thing: Vishnu is destroying so that Krishna can create. And I'll tell you what, that blew me away, and that completely changed my view of spirituality. Completely changed my view of spirituality. And I don't know. I personally just thought that was a really beautiful way of looking at it, compared to this struggle and fight, you know, thing that, you know. And I don't, guys, God, I don't mean to sound like I'm constantly talking down on Western Christianity. I honestly don't mean to. What I'm hoping to do is put some things in perspective, drop a few seeds of thought, and just give something to ponder. That's really the only reason for it, though. Hey, Violet, thank you so much for popping in. So guys, that's really the only reason. That's really the only reason for that. So any questions, comments, or concerns before we move on? And that was actually really cool that Violet took some time, because I know she's working tonight and I know she's busy. That was super, super sweet and super, super cool that she took the time to pop in like that. Okay. So yeah, guys, feel free at any point through all of this, you know, feel free to ask questions. Feel free to, you know, give comments. I am watching as we go along here, because so many times in the middle of a conversation, and you'll have, you know, an inspired thought, you'll want to talk about it. So let's go ahead and, you know, and do that as we go along. Now, one thing that I wanted to talk about, we've already talked about perceptions, and we kind of touched on perspective a little bit. Billy, I don't have shirts yet. I mean, they were the last, 2-3 days now, been working on designs pretty heavily, and I think we finally landed on one for now. And I literally just kind of threw the site up to have them made. Okay, Gina, not a problem. So the thing with the t-shirts, they literally just went up today. So I don't have anything physical here yet to model, but right now there's various different types of t-shirts, from form fit to loose to V-neck. There's hoodies, because winter is going to be coming pretty soon. So there's some sweater hoodies, some sweaters in there as well. Cell phone cases, and plush pillows, which I actually thought were kind of cool. Plush pillows, and I think there's like a plush blanket in there too. Not like one you could put on a bed per se, but kind of like a cozy type of, blanket. And I'm going to be spending, I don't know how many days, adding them to the Facebook shop. So yeah, and they're all, you can order a variety of different colors, a variety of different sizes, anything from small to like 5XXX or whatever. So a variety of different Thank you, Elia. And so, because if you guys remember, a while ago, I asked, how did you feel if I, worked on creating a line of our own products, paranormal, so forth and so on. And the response seemed to be pretty good. Excuse me. So right now, the Angel phone, the Angel box are up. Those prices are going to be adjusted. They're going to come down just a little bit, okay? On Facebook page. But what if God made everything because he was lonely and bored? Yeah, Danielle, we actually just got done talking about that. We just got done talking about that. And funny that you bring that up, because you know what, guys, we never actually addressed the actual question. I kind of went on a tangent about relationships with God. And no, I personally don't believe that well, I don't know, guys. I go back and forth. I had watched a little bit of a documentary on time lapse, the creation of the universe. And of course, it starts with the Big Bang. And so my thought was, well, why create it? Why create the universe? Why would God want to create the universe? Was God already hanging around and thought, let's do this? And then created the Big Bang? Or, and here's an or, what if, looks like I'm freezing up here a little bit. What if the Big Bang was the creation of God? What if the Big Bang was the birth of God? Now, I know that they say that God always has been, always will be, always shall be. And as far as energy goes, yes, I get that. But something had to mix and cross energy-wise to create this Big Bang. And so that was another thought that I had. What if the Big Bang was actually the birth of God? So I go back and forth. There's a part of me that believes that no, God wasn't bored, that the whole reason for life is for experience, because I believe that there are certain things that we were able to do in the physical that we can't necessarily do in the spiritual. And that gets into my epiphany here in a little bit, okay? Billy, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. So that's what I've wondered. Was the Big Bang the birth of God? And so I believe that our existence here is for experience, for education, and so that's why situations like, with my sister, there's that big part of me that says, well, okay, this was a part of her experience. She will learn. And I think this is where, if you believe in reincarnation, where that could come into play. Because if you think about it, guys, and you can actually do the research on this, and you can kind of put two and two together. What I have noticed is that every time there's a death, there's a birth. And so my thought is, okay, so what if you have a situation where someone, their experience is they're having a hard time coping. They're having a hard time accepting life as it is. And they decide to end it. Now, some people believe that we have a life contract, that we sign a contract saying that we will do certain things. I don't know how far I go into that, to be honest with you, because to me, that's laying on certain specifics that, as far as I know, we just don't know about. That's making assumptions about spirit, which I really try not to do. I think about it. I try not to make assumptions. But what if that was, like in her case, her experience that she had to learn from, maybe being a younger spirit, and then has a chance to kind of cycle through the system should she want to and come back. And I think that's why we have like human reason why sometimes we have these what's the word, deja vu moments, so forth, so on. And guys, it's just a thought, it's just a theory. I'm not saying that it's anything in particular, it's just food for thought. But that's why I believe, the God made us, that we can have experience. Because if that little bit of energy source that makes us is from that larger energy source, which we call God, then that then combines a plethora of lifetimes of experiences. And what that adds up to at the end, I don't know. I just don't know. I do believe that there's more to it than this. And I do believe that there's for us to be here. I don't think that we're just, bags of meat walking around meant to work a 9-to-5 job and not it. And I think that's part of it, guys. I think that in spirit, I'm not saying that there aren't joys there. I think there are. I think they're different. And I think the joys that you can experience here are different because now it's tactile. You can touch it, you can smell it, you can feel it. You can see it through this biology. And that's why, I get so flustered when it comes to friends, family, whoever. They're concentrating so hard on their job, their job. And it's like, they want to do this, they want to go here, they want to experience this, but they're not, because their job. Guys, there's always going to be a job. There's not always going to be experiences. So what do you want your experiences to be while you're here? Do you want it to be in a cubicle with a headset on until retirement age, and then you get into a Winnebago and then you travel a little bit? Or do you change your perception? Do you change your mind and say, screw it, wherever money comes from, it's always going to be there, it's always going to come, but I want to go to Scotland. I want to go see Stonehenge. I want to go do this, that, or the other. Take that chance. Take it. Billy, have you really been thinking about Winnebago? I'm not gonna lie. I've actually wanted to get a Volkswagen van, like a 1967 Volkswagen van that kind of has like a little wet bar in it and all that. I fix it up, soup it up, and travel around. But you know what, Billy? If that's what you want to do, if that's what would bring you happiness, then do it. I don't think we have to wait for any specific time. See, I joke around saying that I'm a really bad employee. It's not true. I'm actually a really good employee, but I'm bad in the fact that I'm always unsettled. I always want more. And that's why I've gone into business for myself, because I want to enjoy this life. And I think everybody should be able to enjoy that life. Billy, that is awesome, dude. If that's what you want to do it. Here's the thing, Billy. If that is truly what you want to do, make the decision that you're going to do it. Stick with that decision. The hows and the ways and the wheres are going to come to you. Dude, I just got cast to voice Batman out of the blue because I wanted to do voice work. I did it for a little bit. I kind of veered off, and I started thinking about it again, and out of the blue, Batman comes up. So whatever you put your mind to, if you make a decision and you stick with it, it's going to find a way to come to you. Oh, yeah, we've had a lot more. Three Stooges is actually going to be next. after we do this live session, I'm going to be doing the Three Stooges, Amy Winehouse. What else? There was John Wayne. Everybody wants Elvis or Marilyn Monroe. I have some folks that I would like to do. I'm going to pepper in with all of this. I'm Batman. So yeah, but definitely Three Stooges is coming up. And guys, what we're talking about right now is Metallica fan, actually a little while ago, had suggested the Three Stooges, which I thought was a fantastic idea because I was a fan of the Three Stooges growing up, especially of Curly, and wasn't so much into Shemp. And I thought Mo was kind of a hard ass, but I thought it was a great idea. And so definitely Three Stooges is coming up. Look out for it. So that's what I believe that we're here for, guys. Is for those experiences. So I guess what I'm trying to get to is don't waste your experiences. Don't sit back and think, well, one day I will do this. Well, I can do this after this, or I can do this once the bills get paid off, or I can. Make the decision that you want, that you're going to do it. Go forward and do it. And I know some of you are probably thinking, well, it's not that easy. Actually, it is. It is, guys. It really is that easy. Yeah, I probably won't get to the Three Stooges session tonight, but no reason why I can't do it tomorrow. Okay, so for those of you who are going to be watching this later on, who aren't reading this, one of our subscribers, Ilya, who's actually been a longtime friend of mine, says, when it comes to understanding the universe or from a spiritual perspective, do you think it's possible to ask the spirits or angels to define or explain what they experience on their end? And the answer is yes. I think you can. Now, whether or not they are allowed to tell us, whether or not they will truthfully answer, because I do believe that there is, I have nothing to back this up, guys. Nothing to back this up. It's just a gut feeling. But I do believe that there are certain rules that I think that they go by when dealing with us. And I think part of that is limiting how much they can tell us, simply because that would then rob us of our experiences and rob us of our free will. But yes, I do think it is very possible to do that. Yeah, I think they are limited to how much they can explain or how much they can talk about. I think it also depends on who the receiver is, on what level you are. If spiritually, if you're at a higher level or not. Because, let's face it, guys, we all know those people that if we try to have these conversations with them, they would immediately shut you down. They'd immediately say, nope, you're wrong, that's not right. And so there requires a certain amount of creative openness in your thought process in order to have these kind of conversations. Hey, Evan. So the other night, like I said, we were having this conversation, about God, and I was walking my dog, and I started thinking, well, okay, everything, and I've said this 101 times, and anybody can look this up and research this, but everything on the atomic level is made of the exact same thing, which is the atom. Everything has a cellular component to it, and everything vibrates. We know this. It has been measured. So that means that God holds to a certain vibration. God is made up of atoms. And I'm sure to a certain degree, there's cellular movement in there. So then I started thinking further, because I've always believed that we are separate from our body, and I've said this 101 times, that we are a biological system that's powered by an energy source. But then I started thinking about it. I thought, well, wait a minute, and I started thinking about how much energy there is. Speech is energy, and it holds to a certain vibration. We are designed, let me back up. We use either a spirit box or an app to create noise for spirits to come through and speak. We are designed in such a way to where our lungs hold breath, which push through your voice box, which vibrates, which creates noise, and then the movement of the mouth, which is also energy, causes speech. Speech is energy. Air is energy. Thought process, consciousness is energy, and that is now being measured by scientists. And each of these energies vibrate to a certain frequency. So if you take a look at spirit that makes us up as a cake recipe, well, you have your flour over here, you have your chocolate over here, you have your milk and your eggs, and they're all in different bowls, which is how spirit normally is. This biological system is the mixing bowl that all those elements go into and harness it. This is what keeps it contained. Now, as far as appearance and look and all that, I don't know, maybe we had a choice in choosing that. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe we did. And I'm sure DNA has something to do with that as well. But it really started, I don't know, it was a light bulb moment that it took my thought process further from us just being energy to us being separate elements of energy, of that same energy, in that it needs something to hold it, something to contain it. And that's why we have the body. And I don't know why I was, walking around the park that night, and some reason or another, all of that just seemed, Miller moth, all of that just seemed to click, and I forget where I was going with this, guys. I really do. I apologize. But when you take a look at all these separate elements, that when you go to sleep at night, your heart still beats, your lungs still inflate, deflate, your blood still circulates. We don't even think about it. We have these energy sources within us that vibrate on the atomic level, that allow us to think, that allow us to speak, that allow us to have that sixth sense, That is so awesome. Thank you so much, F you. Thank you so much. I seriously, I appreciate that. And so I started to marvel over the complexity of us. And if we are on that atomic level, if we are able to actually connect with, again, whatever you want to call it, universe, God, what have you, if we are able to connect into that, and you can manipulate it, and you can create, and you can kind of customize your own life, then personally, I want to continue tapping into that. I want to continue getting into that. And I hope to God you guys do too as well. You know, I don't want to see any of you stuck. I don't want to see any of you unhappy. I don't want to see any of you, desperately trying to reach for something. That's something else I want to talk about, guys, is resistance. When you feel yourself constantly trying for something, the same thing over and over and over again, you're fighting resistance. Let it go. Let it go. If your bank account becomes overdrawn and your car payment is due, the past has happened, you're in the current, let it go. It's going to work itself out. Granted, you have to put out there that, it's going to do that. And this is something that we could always talk about, deeper and later on, guys, if you so want to, and this is why I highly suggest that everyone just kind of read up and, study the 7 universal laws, because they are really, really important. But I don't know, guys, that was just something that it clicked with me for some reason, that we're not just one energy source, that maybe combined it's all one energy source, but it's different energy sources that have different vibrations. So I think we kind of touched on a little bit of everything there, guys. Do you guys have any questions, comments, or concerns while we're at it? I feel like I've kind of been rambling here. Oh man, I'm telling you, that session with Chester Bennington, I do believe he came through. I do believe he had stuff to say. I do not believe in any way, shape, or form that, how there's that belief among certain religions, and I do use the word religion, that if you take your own life, that you immediately go to hell. I don't believe that. I just don't believe that. You take a look at, let's say, Robin Williams. Robin Williams took a good look at what was going on with him medically. His thought process was that if I keep going the way I am, I'm going to become a burden on my family. I'm not going to be able to work. And what use am I going to be? So he did what he felt he had to do. And I do not believe in any way, shape, or form that would be chastised, that would be punished. I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. Same thing with Chester Bennington. Again, I know that there are a lot of controversies around how he passed. And I feel that my job is not to try to cut in and either dispute, a conspiracy or a thought or what have you. There's enough people out there doing that. I feel that my job is to go in and just make sure he's okay. I could care less. Oh God, let me rephrase that. It's not that I don't care how or why he or anyone passed. My thought is, okay, it's done. Is he okay? You know what? Nerd, Laurel and Hardy, definitely I've thought about them as well. I've definitely thought about them. I was a fan of Laurel and Hardy. I was a fan of the Three Stooges, and I was a fan of I'm sorry, guys, my brain's gone tonight. Of Abbott and Costello. Huge fan of all of them. And Tim Conway also. and he's passed, and he's someone that I've wanted to reach out to. There are just so many. Michael Landon, another one. There are just so many people that we could reach out to in any time period. Any time period. Here's the thing, guys. There are so many people who have been wronged, who've been screwed over in the past. I'm sure they want to be heard. I'm sure they want to be heard. That's why I attempted to make contact with King Henry VIII, and I do believe that he came through. Look at all the people who were lynched back in the late 1800s, early 1900s. I'd like to reach out to them. I would love to reach out to George Washington Carver, extremely intelligent man. Unfortunately, the only thing he ever was known for was making peanut butter, but he did so much more than that. Oh yeah, no, Tim Conway, Billy. Oh God, hilarious. But what I was getting to was that I just have a hard time believing that. You're right, Vicky. It does give them a voice. Okay, like King Henry VIII. He went down in history as being an absolute bastard, but I don't believe that was him. He was in a jousting accident, and not my theory, but medical theory is that he received frontal lobe damage. And frontal lobe, the part of your brain, is where your reasoning and emotional factors come into play. So, so I just have a really hard time believing that, Chester is in any bad place. Now, he did openly talk about depression. So I don't know. Hey, FU, did you see the session on Chester Bennington? FU, are you still with us? Okay, I don't know that during that session, for the Chester Bennington session, the overall tone that I got from it was kind of melancholy. Gina, I don't know. I don't know. So, but there are so many people, and here's the thing, guys. I also don't want to, get locked into just trying to reach certain people all the time, because I recently did a very private session, and I asked that all of the what I'm finding out now are gates. I thought they were doors, but I keep hearing gate come through. Sessions with spirit. Can you feel the energy as well? I'm not just here and see it. Okay, Vicky, give me 1 second and I'll answer that. I asked that all the gates be closed, except for to allow this one person and their protectors to come through. And you could clearly hear spirits coming through saying, "We want to talk. Let us in. We want to talk." And I believe it was one of the archangels, either Michael, Raphael, or Azrael, was saying we can't. Now, I do believe that it might have been Michael simply because you heard other spirits say, Michael's there. There's Michael. And it was a pretty intense session. I do not have that one public, guys, in case you ask. Okay, it's not made public. But the whole reason for me bringing this up is to say that I do want to allow sessions where they can just come through and speak. That way, because I in life as in death, I want to make sure everyone gets a fair shot. Okay, so for those of you who are going to be watching this later on, Vicky just asked that when I'm doing these sessions and they're coming across, can I feel the energy, or is it just them coming through? A lot of times, what happens, and I can make this known when it happens, but a lot of times what happens, I will get a chill either on the left or right side. Usually that means, one side's masculine, one side's feminine. And I've always believed that I've had a male and female protector around me. There are times that I'll get it down the center of my back. Just the other night, I could have sworn that I felt a tap on my ankle when I was going to bed. Now, I know that's not, in regards to session. But no, I do feel it's like this really chilled energy surge that goes through, almost like needles is the best way I can describe it. A lot of times, and you guys have been witness to this, a lot of times I'll get an emotional surge. So they'll come through that way as well. So no, I feel them. Maybe not all the time, but a lot of time I do. Now, part of that I think is because I say that I don't want them coming into me. There are others out there who welcome spirit to go into their body because they feel that's how they can communicate. I don't necessarily think that is a necessity. I kind of feel like this is my home, and I have the angel phone here. It has a variety of power sources in it, so they've been speaking through it just fine. I'm not saying that they haven't attached to me or come through me to try to speak, but I don't think they make a habit of it. Thank you for the question. Do you guys have any other questions? Or maybe anything else you want me to touch on? And again, guys, please feel free to disagree with me with anything that I may say. I am in no way, shape, or form saying that my views are the end all be all. It's just what has made sense for me. So anything else, guys? Let me say that in a more masculine way. Anything else, guys? So, okay, I think we pretty much touched on everything that we were going to talk about. Let's see, we talked about perceptions and perspectives, meaning of humanity. So I think we touched on everything. You are oops. Oh, Gina, I got to tell you, man. Again, guys, this is exactly what I'm talking about in regards to manifesting the things that you want. our group is growing. We are getting more subscribers on the YouTube channel, which is fantastic. And I'll tell you, for a variety of reasons. I feel, I mean, I don't know. I say this very, very loosely, and I say this with no narcissism, and I say this with humbleness. But I believe that part of what I'm wanting to do, not necessarily educate, but at least plant a seed of thought. And so the more people who join up, who become a part of this, who toss around ideas, which I absolutely love. You know, I love the fact that both on our channel, in our group, and on the Facebook page, is that everyone is just free to believe and view and say what they want, and everyone has respect for each other. God, guys, I can't tell you how much I love that. But when we get more subscribers, and that's why I've been pushing for 1,000 subscribers, and for people to actually physically push the thumbs up. And I know you hear this on a lot of YouTube channels, but the reason for this is because of the YouTube algorithm. When videos get thumbs up, and when they have comments, and when they have subscribers, it gets promoted more through YouTube. And when it becomes monetized, then that frees me up to where I can start doing more things. Guys, if you remember when we had Saving Ghosts on Amazon, because of Amazon, we were able to build the Angel phone. We were able to build the Angel box. We were able to get more equipment. We were able to, do so many other things because financially that allowed us to do that. And so with YouTube, the potential to do more is there. And here's the thing, guys. I want us to go and travel. I want us to go to New Orleans. I want us to go to Chicago. I want to go into Utah. I want to go to the UK. I want to go into Scotland. There's so many places that we can go to. And I don't mean to do, what you see on the Travel Channel and just kind of do what we do, guys. I mean, you see how we handle things. You see how we go about it. So that's why I want to try to get up. That's why we are going to get up, and we're going to surpass 1,000 subscribers. But I do need your help, guys, with that. I mean, I really do. And it's really because of you guys that we've been able to keep going as long as we have so far. Now, to answer your question as to who have I been considering for the next session, well, the immediate, I don't mean for tonight, but just the next session in general is going to be the Three Stooges. So Larry, Moe, and Curly, I'm going to do them. I do want to do just an open session so that spirits can just come through and speak. And as far as tonight, did you guys want me to do a session tonight? What's up, Bonnie? Violet is back. So, and speaking of which, guys, our Instagram account is also gaining more likes, and I've been putting Saving Ghosts on what is that channel on I gotta look it up, guys. I am so sorry. But I've been posting Saving Ghosts again and here's the thing, guys. I took it, just to let you know, I took it off of Amazon. Oh, come on. I took it off of Amazon because Amazon changed their price structure to where any creator, unless you were really supported by a major network or studio, you just really weren't really getting paid anything. And so, okay, Billy, so we do have a Twitter account. Vicky asked about that today, as a matter of fact. We do have a Twitter account, and I'm in the process of linking it to the Facebook page and so forth and so on. Let me find out what that other channel is, because for the life of me, I can't remember it now. I'm sorry, guys. And the moment it pops up, what is it? Daily Motion. There we go. I've been putting the episodes on Daily Motion. I'm not really promoting it. I'm just putting them there, mainly since Amazon was a very, very good thing for us. Amazon was actually helped us out a lot. But the thing about Amazon that I quickly noticed was that you don't have the community with Amazon like you do with YouTube and possibly with Dailymotion, but mainly with YouTube. With YouTube, much like Facebook, you can build communities. And to me, that's where our strength is at with Saving Ghosts, is as a community. And so yeah. So guys, okay, so let's do a session. I am, just to let you know, I'm not going to ask for anyone in particular, just where I am at, both physically and emotionally right now. I don't feel it would be best for that. I am going to allow them to come through and speak. And I'm going to do it through the Afterlight Box. I'm not going to do it through the PSB7. And guys, I'm going to keep this session. Fairly quick. All right. Okay. So here, let me. Okay. So, and there goes my forehead, which there's enough of it to go around. So okay. So we've got the Angel phone plugged in, and I'm actually, guys, right now I'm. No, you are fine. I'm happy you showed up. Thank you so much. Yeah, I just want to see who comes through. But what I'm going to be doing, guys, again, I know I've said this before, and I can't exactly promise when. Oh, speaking of which, so I know I took a little video of this, but I want to show you. This is what's called a mock-up. Now, some of you might know that I created our version of the SLS camera. And it does work, but what I want to do is I want to put it into its own housing. So this is a mock-up of that housing of what it's going to look like. So on the back is where the tablet's going to be. There's also going to be a built-in K2 meter. It's also going to have a built-in Angel box to it. So you will be able to plug in either a PSB7 or the app will already be on here, so you'll be able to use an app. The controls for all that will be on top, as well as a speaker, and the camera itself will be in here. Again, this is just a foam core mock-up. From here, I'm going to make the molds, put it all together, and this will eventually have a handle on the bottom to where you can carry it around. So that's kind of where we're at with the Angel viewer. But the reason I'm bringing that up is because I'm going to be creating a new housing for the Angel phone. Again, I can't promise when, because I want to get the Angel viewer done first. But I'm going to create a new housing for the Angel box. And so this one here very well may be a giveaway at some point. I'll let you know. Alrighty, guys? Sound like a winner? Woo! And I will still offer this in the store as the Angel Box Original or something. And then next one will be Angel Box or Angel Phone something, Thank you, Danielle. No, this is what happens when you're single and you have no kids and you have a lot of time on your hands. So, I've always needed a creative outlet, and Saving Ghosts really allows that for me. So, all right, guys. So let's go ahead. Let's do a quick session. Okay, we're just going to allow them to come through. I am going to trust all of you and ask all of you just to, think on love and light and goodness. And let's see where this goes, okay? Dear Heavenly God, I thank you for this session. I thank you for the friends in which I've made. Through this, I ask, please open up the heavens and shine your bright heavenly light into this home and fill heavenly light and fill this room with that heavenly light. I ask Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, and Archangel Azrael to please be here and guard at the gate. Please guard and screen those who come through. I only allow those of love and light. I only allow those who have a message they wish to pass on. I only allow those who are accepting of love. And in Jesus' name I give thanks. Amen. Hello, hello. Is there anybody here?
No.
No, but I just heard you. Hi, guys. Protection, thank you. Yes, I heard that. Thank you. I love knowing life is short. Yes, it is. But you know what? I believe that we can make the best out of this life while we are here. What I was going to tell you was that I thank you and I appreciate you offering that protection. Sincerely, I thank you for that. Is there any... If I heard you right, I thought you said you're awesome. And if you did say that, yes, you are. You are awesome.
The driver?
One of those. One of those. So, how many are here tonight?
It's positions.
Thought I heard a few then positions. Is
Can you begin?
Can we begin? Yes, we can begin. Well, I don't know if you're asking me or not, but yes, if you have something you would like to say, if you are of love, if you are of love and light, if you are accepting of love, if you have a message, if you have a message you want to get across, we have 11 people live right now who are watching, and more are going to watch later on. So you are more than welcome to come through and speak. Again. Thank you. Oh, you know what? I didn't turn this on. I am so sorry. Hi, can you give me your name, please? Leave. Who are you telling to leave?
That is true.
Hey, guys, can I ask you a question? It's late. Is it too late to be talking? Hey guys, the name Ed has been coming through lately. Who is Ed? Sound like she just said her head. Miss, is that what you said? Did you say her
Oh,
head?
I put on it. Lily.
Christ.
Christ.
Great try.
So, guys, I'm going to be quiet for a little bit.
That's
If you have a message you want to say or pass on, you are more than welcome to approach.
Start.
You are more than welcome to approach and manipulate this box, this angel phone, okay? I made this for you guys, so you can manipulate this and speak.
Beaten bull. Thinking.
You're thinking. And guys, don't feel like you have to say anything. If you don't want to, you don't have to. This is just an option for you. Okay? Please don't feel obligated to.
There
were something. Trust. Thank you. So, can spirit? Can you guys talk to each other?
Into the car.
In the spirit world? Which I'm hearing that question now, and I realize how ridiculous.
I trust.
You trust? Thank you. I realize how ridiculous that question was now, so I apologize. Direct. Guys, this session is for you tonight. For anybody pretended something. This session is for you guys to come through and speak, pass on any messages. Which, speaking of that, but you live. That's what it sounded like anyways. So, for those of you who are watching, listen to see if anything comes through specific for you, because there may. Your neck. Or her neck, something like that.
It says, "Put the monitor." Really well done.
Do you have any messages for anybody who's watching right now?
With Mina.
With Mina. Does anybody know a Mina?
And Mika.
With Mina.
Yes. He is born.
Hey guys, does
across?
Well, Danielle, she might be alive. What they could have been saying is that there is someone in spirit who is with Mina. So I don't know if Mina knows of anyone
Walked on.
who passed, but it might be worth, asking her. But I thought I heard that fairly clear that
Oh, that.
she is with Mina. Hey, Catherine.
Having my flash.
He stuck.
So, is there
My neck.
your neck? Miss, what is wrong with your neck?
No.
Body. And some.
Okay, Danielle, it could possibly
Essential.
Head off.
hat off. It could possibly be her mom who's with her then.
Of the car. The same.
Something about I heard something about a car come through a few times.
Also.
Is someone trying to explain how they died?
F.
In the other.
Because I keep hearing something about neck.
To do with it.
Great life.
That was either 3 o'clock or break it off. I couldn't quite tell.
They have this.
Checked it.
Is it true that Archangel Azrael is there at the time of our passing to help us?
The old lady.
Or are we not allowed to know those things?
The switch.
See, here's the thing. I feel there are certain rules, and I don't
And not what through there.
And because of.
I don't mean to cross any boundaries. I don't mean to overstep. I'm just curious
Where the men were.
where all the men were.
Tree. Gates. Nothing.
Something about the gates again. Again, I only ask that one gate be open
But.
and that it be guarded by Archangel Michael.
The style.
And that spirits be screened. I only allow those who are good, who are of love,
Continue it.
who accept love. Okay.
Better view from.
With grown.
With someone. I'll have to play that one back. Yeah, I can turn the echo down.
I had to say this.
Well, the echo or the reverb, because
Illegal.
okay, so the echo is now turned off. Bored. Part of the reason for the echo is that when I'm playing that back, it repeats that last word or that last part of that last phrase. So it helps me understand a little bit better. Robin? Hey guys, speaking of that, it seems like the last couple of sessions, people have been saying that it still sounds like Robin Williams is coming through. Does Robin Williams? Does Robin Williams still come through?
Why not, John? I could take it.
Forward upon.
Why not? And then something. I mean, I don't care if Robin Williams,
Oh, the demolition.
if he wants to come through, he's more than welcome to come through.
Oh, double.
I've always felt like, and I'm not trying to say this because he's celebrity or
Or me not. It's
What is true?
or whatever. I just always felt like Robin Williams was one of those dudes that you could just sit back, you know, have a drink with, have a good laugh with, and he would just be real, you know?
and slowing responsible.
I just always felt like he was a really, you know, kind, loving soul.
The spirit.
The spirit something. So I have the echo off right now. Is the reverb? Is it?
I'm thirsty.
You're thirsty, or you're first? I couldn't quite tell.
Round the road. There.
I'm not in.
Catherine, when I heard the name Robin, trust me, your friend is exactly who I thought of.
Okay. And other.
Is Catherine's friend Robin trying to come through?
He had merely.
Was an hour. 45.
I think they said was for now. Something like that.
Economy.
Hey, so guys, I'm curious. Do you look forward?
Like a shadow.
Do you enjoy coming through these devices, or is it?
This time's right.
Or is it something you'd prefer not to do?
With some warfare.
With some?
Playing with
Lost itself.
running forth.
Well, I am just.
Would not put up all of
I'm just thankful. I appreciate, you know, you guys coming through and speaking.
Tradesman.
Tradesmen.
There were many crimes.
Why for this?
I'm not. Oh, the organ.
Spirit.
Again, spirits. Thank you for that.
Dwelling.
Hey guys, I'm sure you already know this, but I'm not going to be able to understand everything that comes through right now until I replay it. I can understand some.
It's with the hair.
It's with the hair. Well, if you're talking about me, then
Should I sleep?
trust me, I would love to be able to fix this.
Of course, there are.
I'm me.
I'm something.
Really in effect.
Sir, who are you? You come through all the time.
Where have been?
Where's that gentleman at?
Be set down. Hasn't.
And miss, you actually come through all the time as well.
Naturals.
Spore.
Okay, so there you are. Okay, so you too. May I ask your name, please?
Supposed to be it.
Yeah, Elia, these
Can I have
something about heaven. These two come through all the time.
Do you?
That was a new voice.
God.
Something, it's God. So,
oh yeah.
can I ask you? We were talking about God tonight, and
Get rid
How the mind?
that actually vibrated the floor a little bit.
what do I have?
Shuffling.
My theory is that God is pure consciousness, pure energy,
Has risen.
has risen.
What dancing?
Dance? Elia, they might be. I've considered that.
Excited something.
Branches.
Sir, you who just spoke, are you a guardian of mine? Are you a protector of mine?
Teeth.
Barricade.
Something barricade.
John important.
And Miss, you
Encouraged.
are the two of you, sir and ma'am, are the two of you protectors of mine? Are you guardians? Are you guardians of mine?
Across the path.
You come through all the time. You are the two main ones.
Tonight.
Tomorrow.
Tonight, something tomorrow. What about tonight? What's going on tonight?
Read the word.
Grab the word.
7.
Fast.
7. Are there 7 spirits here? Which 7 is a spirit number? 7.
Or on.
Revising. Here.
Here. Are you saying there are 7 spirits here?
Suddenly. This present.
All right. And right now, I just felt a little bit of a chill on my left-hand side. Who was that?
Will.
It's Will? Who's Will?
What
Alrighty, guys. I don't want to tire you too much because I do have respect for you. Is there anything you would like to say?
Like in a run.
Is there anything you would like to say before I go, before I hang up?
The love.
Is there by chance anyone there?
She's recording station.
Is there anyone by chance there who may have a message for me?
Over here.
To stare.
Down direction. Window.
Sound like I heard I didn't mean to.
My fellow.
Your fault.
Butchers.
And fellow.
I also heard my fault. So if this is in regards to what I think it is, as long as you are finding
They made us.
they made you. They made you what?
To go. Lean.
To go. Okay. Here's my thing, guys. As long as you are finding, as long as you are finding some form of happiness and love now, I don't know what your experiences were like while you were here, if you ever were here. Adventure. Is living a human experience, is that an adventure?
Ask the tribute to me.
Alrighty, guys.
Thank you. According to
I'm going to have to let you go, okay? Is there anything you want to say before I hang up?
It's in the wood.
It's in the wood.
Also,
I don't know what that yelling and screaming is, but
with the coming,
I thought I heard "let me out." Well, if there's a gate closed, there's a reason for it, okay?
over the gate.
I only allow those of love and light. I only allow those who are accepting of love.
Objective. It's shouting.
Yeah, they are shouting. And that is not welcomed here, okay?
There was good.
Within the last.
Okay. I only allow those of love and who are accepting of love. If you are not accepting of love, if you do not express love, then you are not welcome here, okay?
And so,
It stopped. Thank you. I appreciate that. I am feeling on both sides now. Seriously, I do appreciate that. Thank you.
The crowd to rest.
won't scream.
The crowds at rest won't scream. Thank you.
2 fingers.
Is the war. You can see.
Two-fingered something.
But
You know what, guys? I don't think I've said it enough, but I sincerely do
this
appreciate
was
it.
yeah.
I appreciate you. I appreciate you protecting me, watching over me. To Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, and Azrael. To
Case.
Jesus of Nazareth.
If I keep.
I do appreciate you. Thank you.
5 feet. Sure.
You guys are awesome. All right. Sir, you, the one who keeps speaking, are you by chance an archangel?
Present. Still on this.
Is there any way, and I ask this with the utmost respect, but with a simple yes or no, can you please tell me, are you an archangel?
What I can.
This could not be.
God.
Alrighty, guys. I think I've kept you long enough.
But the money.
Is he really?
Thank you for your time. And I'm going to go ahead and let you go, okay?
Hey.
Pain? I don't want there to be any pain. Okay, if you are...
Just listening.
Or do you possibly mean pain surrounding my family's current situation?
Oh, shit.
Must use Carlos.
All right, guys. I thank you for your time, okay? I'm going to let you go. I ask, please return through whatever doorway you came. or through whatever gate you came. Okay.
And then Dekra.
I'm going to ask, please do not stay in this house. Please do not attach to me. Unless you are a protector, a heavenly archangel, and of course, yes, you are welcome here. But any other spirits, please return through whatever gateway you came. Please do not enter into me. If you need help, please ask for Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael. Okay. I thank you guys.
Whom he has.
Okay, guys, bye.
Carefully.
So, okay, so Danielle, he said, no, he can't. What was the question? I don't remember. To the answer of no, I can't. Thank you, Elia. I did very clearly hear him say that the screaming has stopped. Basically, that they've been told to keep it down. Okay, no, I didn't hear that. So either no, he can't say, or no, he's not. And when did he say prepare? Was that before I hung up? Or maybe he was saying, no, he can't be an archangel. Maybe that was it. Okay. Well, I might go through this, section, separate it, and see what all can come through. They were communicating directly. And, perfect example was them saying that the screaming was stopped. And it was. You guys heard it. There was no other screaming coming through. I did hear, in like the first or second scream, I heard them say, let us out. Nope. Danielle could be. Very well could be. Or maybe it's one of those things that as a group we're not supposed to know, or maybe I'm not supposed to know at this point. We don't know. We really don't know. But what we do know was that they were watching over the session. They were very mindful of what was going on. And once, I asked that the screaming please stopped, he popped through and he said, it's done. They've stopped. So it's things like that, guys, that makes me believe that there is some sort of a relationship agreement that the spirit world has with the living. So, I believe this was a good session. I believe that there was. I believe the session did exactly what it was supposed to do. That they came through, they said what they had to say, and there were others who were wanting to come through, but because we asked that the gate be protected and that only those who are accepting of love and those who are of love and light come through. You know what I may do? I may do a session, now that I'm thinking about it, for those who want forgiveness. Maybe that should be one I'll do. I didn't think about that until now. But there was also another message from a female who came through, one that said it's my fault, not meaning my fault, but their fault. And there was something else that was pretty, it was the head, my fault. And I thought something about forgiveness. Elia, I can. I probably won't edit it tonight just because of the time. And frankly, whenever I get done with one of these sessions, I need to unplug and really just kind of recoup. But it's what I did with the last session. That was Billy's idea. And so I can do that again tonight. Hey, Andrew. Andrew, we're actually about to call in tonight. So, all right, Violet. Hey, Violet, appreciate you, love you, thank you for sticking with us, okay? Seriously, thank you. All right, guys, does anybody else have any? Andrew, I'm going to do a highlight of tonight's session. Not a problem, Ilya, thank you. Yeah, there was something about a car about, a neck. Well, Danielle, I said we have a certain amount of people watching right now. If there's anybody who wants to come through and pass on any messages, they have the ability. So what I will do, guys, is I will, there's a meditation I'm also working on. I'm going to probably put that out tomorrow. Then I'll release this. I'll go through this. And so just give me a couple days, okay, guys? No, you're Vicky, you're welcome. All righty, guys. I thank you so much for, again, spending another 2 hours with me. I don't think I know how to have a short group session, but guys, sincerely, thank you so much. And in the next upcoming days, by tomorrow, look for the new meditation, which will be on YouTube, but then also look for this group session recap. All righty, guys? Thank you, guys. I really do appreciate you, okay? Have a nice night. Thank you.